Hi and welcome. My name is Lyle Story. Let me introduce myself and then more importantly say something about the Greek to me memory system as a new and effective way of learning biblical Greek. I received a PhD from Fuller Theological Seminary in 1984. I've been a professor at Regent University School of Divinity for 35 years and prior to that teaching for 5 years out in California. I'm a co-author of the Greek to Me textbook as well as the Greek to Me multimedia tutorial and flashcard app. And I just finished a book that will soon be out. It's called Joyous Encounters, Discovering the Happy Affections in Luke Acts. And as you can see, I've written numerous journal articles, book chapters, dictionary articles, and some work with commentaries. More importantly, let's talk about the Greek to Me memory system. When I was out in California and I began to teach in a school primarily with people that were coming out of the Jesus movement, charismatic renewal, I had to think of a better way of teaching Greek than from the way that I had learned it. So I started playing around with images and cartoons that I used in the classroom then with an overhead projector, and the students found it to be helpful. My father, Cullen I.K. Story, who was a professor at Princeton Seminary, asked me to teach one summer with him in their summer language program for Biblical Greek. Now, the more sophisticated students at Princeton were a little leery of this man from California with cartoons, but within 10 minutes I had won them over because they could see the value of learning Greek with their imaginations and their visual memories. So that summer, my father not only was won over, but we had the idea of working on the Greek to Me textbook, and so we did it that summer. So there's the Greek to Me textbook. Later, I developed the Greek to Me multimedia tutorial as well as the flashcard app. So let's talk about our imagination. Our minds can imagine, and our minds have so many aspects and abilities to imagine and see and visualize. We have long-term memory and short-term memory. We have the ability to manipulate information, process it, and focus attention. Now, the older methods of memorizing. Here's where we say and repeat the unknown over and over and over again, somehow hoping that it'll stick. It's boring and it's painful. And it's an ineffective method for both initial learning as well as long-term retention. There are a lot of other Greek grammars that are out there that simply offer the traditional rote methods of learning. Now, the memory system builds on two major techniques: substitute words and linking pictures. We substitute words for the unknown. They're silly, they're ridiculous pictures for the unknown, and this is primarily used with vocabulary words. But when we get to linking pictures, we do so together in a storyline that are easily remembered, not only for initial learning, but long-term retention as well. And these are used primarily with endings. So here's an example of a substitute word and a linking picture. At the top of the screen, you'll see the Greek word agero, that means I raise up, agero. Now, the older rote method, we'd simply repeat that again and again and again. But look at the picture. We have a silly Robin Hood character who is raising up an egg arrow. An arrow with the egg at the tip. So, our substitute word is the egg arrow for the Greek word agero, and then it is linked with its meaning, I raise up. Now, we do that not only with vocabulary words, but with the endings of the noun system and the verb system and all so many other parts of speech. So this is an invitation to learn Biblical Greek in a new way. The use of our minds, our memory, our imagination, and utilizing silly, ridiculous pictures to help us learn the vocabulary and grammar of the Greek New Testament so that we can explore the timeless message and messages of the Greek New Testament. Thanks so much.